There is no more powerful medium than that of a story. Stories originated from our God-given experience. They issue from our very soul. They speak in ways that reason and logic cannot touch. Stories evoke feelings and emotions. They speak an embodied, holistic wisdom. Stories are spacious. They continue to open up with fresh meaning at new times in our life. Stories invite the listeners in, offer room for connections with stories of others. Storytelling creates community. Stories are never complete in one telling, but keep inviting us to more, to overflow, where holy mystery beckons. Storylines are lifelines to the future. That's a quote from Sister Marianne Zollman, who was the facilitator for us in the spring gathering. So good afternoon. I'm Sister Janice Hoffman. Welcome to the fourth storytelling event. This project was promoted by the Laudato Si Committee, which includes Nancy Miller, Marie Segrin, Shell Balick, and me. It was inspired by a growing conviction that scientific facts alone are not convincing people that climate change is real. So it seems appropriate that you have listened to those quotes by Sister Marianne Zollman about how wonderful stories can touch our hearts. So thank you very much, all of you, for being part of this storytelling event. Hopscotch by Sister Kathleen Grace. Photo by Sister Janice Hoffman.
Yesterday, I tried to play hopscotch. Leaving the ground? Impossible. No jumping. My foot would not separate. I'm attached to the earth, I said to myself. No escaping it. Even astronauts come back. So for better or worse, here I am, connected to the earth, and through the earth to you, to us, to the whole ball. Inseparable we grow together, made from dirt, from water, from air. Some say escape the earth, set our minds on greater things. Like mental gymnastics, I cannot jump free from my earthiness. Hopscotch proves it. So I embrace the earth. I am one with the rivers, the air, the dirt, the grime. I am one with us, all, through the earth, through my planted feet. I am connected. We are connected. We are one. Take care.
From My Window by Sister Marge Burkle. Photo by Sister Janice Hoffman.
The four seasons tell a story of wonderment every year. It is through these seasons that life germinates, sprouts, develops, blooms, and shares her gifts to us. We need to listen to the rhythm of the earth's beat and to the beat of the seasons passing through her sacred body. These seasons also reveal our unfolding stories of growth, faith, hope, surrender, and wisdom as they repeat themselves over and over. I look out my window at 118 Clare House and see the mystery of life unfold before me. There in this majestic, beautiful oak tree, in all of her beauty, I see. I watch her colors change from one season to the next as the seasons of creation change. Her story is filled with so much wisdom that she has gathered over the many years. It's easy to feel her strength and awesomeness. Her story is also my story, filled with seasons and years of change. Our roots are strong, and they carry us through the challenges and joys of who we are today. It is the gift of our aging years. My eyes are filled with praise and gratitude for the daily gifts she gives to me as I gaze out my window and reflect on God's precious gift given to me, to us. I look out of another window and I see a newly planted tree. She is planted with so much love and a future waiting to unfold before my very eyes. I think of the hope and the wisdom she holds within her roots. Will she be able to enjoy each of the seasons and the challenges and joys Mother Nature can sometimes give to her? I see her being watered daily, so new life will continue and someday be as beautiful as my big oak tree that I reflect on so often from my window or as I go for a walk. She invites me to reflect on what newness is being planted in my heart. What are the new dreams still waiting to be experienced? Will I embrace them and invite others to help nurture them and allow them to grow and hold new hope and wisdom and surprises? Yes, my eyes are filled with gratitude and praise for the gift of this new life planted outside my window, waiting to unfold before me through each new season.
Mighty Mississippi by Sister Carolyn Birdie. Photo by Sister Janet Haverkamp.
My name is Mighty, and so I am. I wiggle my way down hundreds of miles, and in my past history elicit many a smile. Drinking water I supply to 20 million and more, and I greet 50 cities along my long shore. But I am beginning to limp and feel rather sore. Agricultural runoff and plastics I endure every day. Pesticides and herbicides have had their say. They have clogged my arteries. My breathing is fast. Can this continue? How long will it last? Fishing and swimming, risky sports that be. Road salt cigarette butts choking me. Aquatic life fearing a future life. Contaminating my water, a jagged knife. But I will struggle on and let folks know this all has to change, 'tis no sideshow. Respect me as a river and I'll do my best to give you clean water with energizing zest. Signed, the Mighty Mississippi.
Reflect on the previous readings and photos. The Ups and Downs of Life on the Little Planet by Susan Ives. Image from James Webb Telescope Images. Read by Sister Susan, Sister Carol Hemisoff, and Sister Marcy Bloom.
Once upon a time, in the very beginning, creation was a formless wasteland. In the year 000, there was a big bang, and a small atom came into existence. It was only one among many other planets, besides all the other bodies in an expanding universe. A mysterious woman, Sophia, called it the little planet. She was aware of its creator, the God particle. Gradually, in years 0002 until 1182, resources for life came into being. Oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, carbon, and sunlight from a very bright object in the far, far distance. The little planet was very fragile during this newborn stage. After a long time, about 21 days, years went by very quickly on such a small planet. There appeared a few people, some animals, a particular tree, flowers, the blue sky above, and green grass on the land below. The atom evolved to 10 inches wide and 5 inches long. By this time, Sophia, who had the responsibility to name all the objects of creation, called the atom, the little planet, Pacifica. The other inhabitants on Pacifica were
Sally, a young lady. Jack and Jill, the water people. Dick and Jane, a couple with a cow called Spot. A goat called Einstein. Yellow dandelions called dandies for beauty. A weeping willow tree called Willow. A few sunflowers to look east and west to report day and evening, sunrise and sunset. 2 chickens called Noodles and Macaroni. This group of creatures lived very well together for many years. They found peace and joy as they shared the ups on the little planet.
Spot and Einstein had plenty of green grass to eat. Jack and Jill went down the hill each day to fetch a pail of water for all to drink. The dandies, Willow, and the sunflowers provided enough greens and seeds for noodles and macaroni, the people and growth for new plants and grains. These resources were then prepared by Sally, Dick, and Jane with milk from Spot for food resources. During these early years, as the sunlight rose and set, many times the resources became stronger and more abundant. They nourished all the creatures who also became stronger and more functional. Pacifica was a healthy, happy little planet. Sophia and the God particle took joy in how well all of creation shared life and the gifts provided by nature.
Gradually, as time continued to move into the future, between 1182 and 1940, the rumblings and grumblings of other planets began to spread to Pacifica. As people heard about the haves and have-nots from elsewhere, they looked at each other and started to become jealous of what they saw. Fears of one another having more than their due started to creep in. They began to bicker among themselves and compete for the limited resources the God particle had provided in an abundant supply to sustain their lives together. Spot and Einstein refused to share the green grass with each other. Einstein chopped it so short, Spot could hardly find enough to eat, so she started eating the dandies. Dick and Jane fought over the milk and water with Jack and Jill, each competing to keep the liquids for themselves. Their plans were to hold on to them as a source for future use, to invest their value in hidden bank accounts on other planets. Sally tried to protect herself by hoarding many seeds and greens from the sunflowers and willow. She refused to share with anyone else. Such is how individualism and self-centeredness developed at the expense of the common good. These downs were very painful for the little planet.
The consequences of these actions had a very negative effect on Pacifica as she began to wither to a smaller size as the land, air, temperature, and resources continued to be used and abused. These changes became known as climate change. The roots on the dandies, the sunflowers, and the grains began to weaken because of the drought. The grass turned brown. Noodles and macaroni died of starvation. Even though Spot and Einstein could barely survive, Einstein became very abusive toward the others, butting them with his head. This made him feel very powerful and dominant. He no longer cared about Spot and Sally, Dick and Jane, Jack and Jill, the dandies, the sunflowers, or their survival. He didn't even miss noodles and macaroni. All his energy was focused on himself.
Finally, the wise woman Sophia appeared among these creatures to find out what was happening. She asked, why had life on the little planet become so unhappy and difficult? No one answered her, but her observations were quite accurate. The downs had taken over, and selfishness and greed replaced the common good. None of these occupants cared about others as long as each had as much of the whatever to someone else's not having much of anything. She decided to contact her friend, Mr. Francis, on a nearby planet, the Vatican. He had written a couple of booklets, Laudato Si and Laudate Deum. Sophia asked him if he had any specific advice for the survival of Pacifica and its current living creatures. How about Einstein? Can he be calmed down? Mr. Francis suggested contacting a famous scientist, Mr. Stephen Hawking, who may be able to calm down Einstein. She also knew a holy man from the 1200s, St. Francis, from the planet Assisi, who related very well to all of nature and creation. He had a large group of followers through the years. Currently, the Sisters of St. Francis, who lived on the planet Dubuque, have been committed to being in right relationship with all creation. They were now trying to implement the content of the booklets with the practical solutions issued by Mr. Francis and the scientists.
According to the above experts, if the occupants on Pacifica do not heed a real conversion to live with a renewed commitment to each other, shown by concern, kindness, acceptance of each other, sharing and using all the resources of their common home in moderation, returning to dependence on the God particle, also known as the Alpha and Omega of all creation, they would not survive much longer. They would each have to make specific changes if they hoped to recover some of the life they had previously shared. It would no longer be the same. They would need to adjust to limited resources, and the land itself needed nourishing. Noodles and macaroni were gone. It was already the 1950s.
Most important, the people and animals needed to trust and be of service to each other. Do Einstein and Spot share the grass in such a way that it begins to grow again once Jack and Jill give it water? How about Willow? Does she produce her weeping leaves? Do Dick and Jane look after Spot again, providing grain and grass so she can produce milk? The future of the little planet can only be saved if Pacifica can be renewed with clean water, air, land, and bright sunshine. Then perhaps the water, grain, and grass will become healthy enough to affect the health of Sally, Dick and Jane, Jack and Jill. The dandies and the sunflowers will regain their strength and beauty, which is necessary to feed the human spirit. Sally, Dick and Jane, Jack and Jill must give up their selfish lifestyles and share the resources they hoarded to bring their homeland back to a shared and peaceful existence. According to vibrations in the universe, another planet, Earth, was having the very same problems. Because it was so much bigger than Pacifica, the climate changes were greater and affected much more of creation. But the solutions were the same. What is happening there?
It is now the year 2030, with an upper limit of 2050. What is happening to planet Pacifica and planet Earth? Did the temperature, air, land, and water improve sufficiently to support life, grain, grass, trees, flowers, people, and animals? The suggestions from the experts required an ongoing commitment from each creature. Did they cooperate and each do what was necessary for the common good? Individualism could no longer exist if they were all to survive. Did they take the advice and implement the solutions suggested? They said they did read Mr. Francis' booklets for possible realistic solutions, but did they?
What are the answers? If you search the sky sometime before sunrise and after sunset with the naked eye or the Webb telescope, you might see a very bright light. Is it Pacifica or is it a star? It might be Pacifica if the people communicated with each other and made choices and decisions for survival. If they took advice from others and implemented practical solutions cooperatively in a timely manner for the health of their homeland, and if the common good overpowered their behavior of selfishness and greed.
If all you see is dark space, Pacifica is no longer in existence. It continued to shrivel and wither to the size of the atom that it was in the beginning, and all the creatures no longer survived. They were probably absorbed by a black hole from which none of them can ever escape. Selfishness and greed were behaviors that must have continued to overpower the effort to change until they were all dead. That can also be our consequence on planet Earth if we do not change our ways of overusing and abusing our environment. We may just disappear, never to be seen or heard from again. Is it the end of time, the last judgment, the action of the Alpha and Omega, Armageddon, the consequences of our inaction?
What are our individual choices and decisions? We need action and commitment now. The healing of our humanity is integrally connected to the healing of all creation, the universe, planets, nature, wherever we, the co-creators, have a presence.
Reflect on the previous story. Gratitude by Sister Rita Green. Photo by Sister Phyllis Modernock.
As I walk in the woods each day, I marvel at the squirrels scampering about, their tails swinging back and forth as they chase each other from tree to tree. After playing for a time, they start looking for nuts. The walnut trees are numerous, so the nuts are easy to find. It seems we as people can learn much from our animal friends. Be grateful for what God gives us and don't waste the gifts freely given.
Imperceptibly by Sister Janet Haverkamp. Photo by Sister Janet.
A new word going out, seeds forming, all sorts of seeds, big, little, prickly, smooth, ripening apples, pears, plums, acorns with their little hats providing the squirrel fest. tree roots communicating, cutting down on chlorophyll, bringing out colors, burnt orange, reds, yellows, browns. All around, green growing things taking on browning hues. My heart, too, responding to its allure, smelling its fragrance, feeling its slight touch on cheek, exhilarating, something new all around, wafting, a creating presence.
Autumnal Dance by Sister Julita Deppy. Photo by Sister Phyllis Modernock and read by Sister Mary Lou Reich.
On the lawns of Mount St. Francis, the leaves perform their lively dances. Day after day, as autumn advances, their palette praise of God enhances. First of all, they do the square with twists and turns right through the air. Next in line is the jitterbug, but soon they rest upon their rug. Now, in a row, the bunny hop, they sweep the floor as with a mop. In grace and charm, they dance the waltz with the even beat of a human pulse. Now is the time for the circle too, showing off a beautiful hue. Bodies turning, they do the twist, just one more dance in their long list. Different dances go on in praise of their maker upon the lawn. The leaves are bare, stretching in the air, void of leaves to grace their hair. They do not fret, their arms up high, innately aware of the reason why. In stationary step, they dance with love, the dance of change, praises God above. With grateful heart, I dance your praise, with love and joy, my arms I raise, for you are the center of my gaze on this October autumnal phase.
Reflect on the previous readings and photos. Dialogue of a Butterfly with Squirrels by Sister Marie Segrin. Photo by Father Armand Bertrand.
Oh, this looks like a nice tree for taking a rest. Oops, this is a walnut tree and the squirrels are busy. Plop, plop. Whoa, those walnuts just missed me. Hey, squirrels, all I want is a place to rest. I don't even like walnuts. Isn't there room for both species? It won't be long before I head south, so cool your jets. I can get a great view of the sunset from here. Chatter, chatter. You know I don't understand your language, but can't we just get along? There are other walnut trees around. Can't I enjoy just a little space in this one? Could you slow down just a little bit so we could talk things over? I know winter is coming and you have to store up food. Plop. Okay, I get the message. I'll move along to another place of rest. But just a reminder before I go, life is more than just work. Take a seat on a branch and enjoy your surroundings and all the beauty. It will only be here for a little longer before the winter winds blow.
Answerable question by Sister Carla Clough. Photo by Sister Carla.
Question mark butterfly, land on me, please. Your wings all aflutter, your beauty does please. To live in the question, that's quite the chore, patiently anticipating to traverse different shore. The birthing, the process, in darkness you grew. The cocoon enveloping was a ripening too. To birth the beyond, that is the key, the question, the answer that seeks you and me. Destiny waits us, it's calling our name, to step out boldly and bravely, the gospel we claim. So leave all behind, some that you knew, a new birth's a coming, it'll look good on you. So 2026, we are coming anew, a life full of vision and passion, it's true. Our wings not a flutter, but locked tight and strong. As Franciscan women, we can't go wrong. So little butterfly, spread your wings wide, your question mark now hidden, and now I know why. The answers are here today as we speak. Our desire, our purpose has not yet peaked. So thank you, my friend, for stopping on by to teach us a lesson on learning to fly.
Reflect on the previous readings and photos. Now you're invited to listen to Rest in the Green by Joyce Rouse. We know her as Earth Mama, and enjoy accompanying photos by our sisters.
As I walk the hills at sunset, the sunset of my days, I see the peaks and valleys through the misty haze. Pain almost forgotten, joys that warm my soul, some of my own making, some I'd no control. I dream to rest in the green, among the birds and blooms, to lie amid the breath of spring and under thunder's boom, to contemplate how life unfolds and passes to the next. Oh, to rest, rest in the green. No shiny brass or fancy scroll do I require at death. A simple shroud or a piney box after my just woodland flowers beside me, violets at my crown, a mourning dove to serenade when they lay me down. I dream to rest in the green among the birds and blooms, to lie amid the breath of spring and under thunder's boom, to contemplate how life unfolds and passes to the next. Oh, to rest, rest in the green. Time I've had beneath the sun's been precious since my birth. I love my friends and family and adore this perfect earth. This body that has carried me is weary, slowing down. I'll gift its treasure, flesh and bone, to the holy ground. I dream to rest in the green among the birds and blooms, to lie amid the breath of spring and under thunder's boom, to contemplate how life unfolds and passes to the next. Oh, to rest, rest in the green. I've tried so hard to live my life as mother would be proud, to show each one compassion and appreciatives aloud, to walk in loving kindness among my native friends, and know that love unfolds to more as this chapter ends. I dream to rest in the green among the birds and blooms, to lie amid the breath of spring and under thunder's boom, to contemplate how life unfolds and passes to the next. Oh, to rest, rest in the green. Oh, to rest, rest in the green.
So thank you to our authors, our photographers, to Marie for the PowerPoint, to Logan, our media technology coordinator, and Travis, who made this leaf arrangement for us, and to everyone who participated. Come to be inspired by different writings and pictures at this next storytelling event on January 30th, 2025. Thank you.
on my hands. But some of those other ones I bet were yours.